Welcome dear students. Today we are going to do question number 14 on page number 83. Here two partners are there, Dharma and Karma, and they share profit and loss in their capital ratio. Here trial balance of their partnership firm as on 31st March 2017 is given. And some adjustments are given regarding closing stock, stock of stationery, depreciation on machinery, credit sales, purchase return book, and advertisement expense. With these available informations, we have to prepare final accounts of partnership firm. So here in this question, you have to prepare trading account, profit and loss account, partner's current account, and balance sheet as on 31st March 2017. And here, as transactions of partners with firm related adjustment are not given, so you are not required to prepare profit and loss appropriation account. So here I have already posted items from trial balance and left space for adjustment. You can see here in trading account you have to start with opening stock, then all direct expenses which is directly related to production will be recorded, and expenses related to purchase of goods will be recorded on debit side of trading account, and on credit side direct income which firm is earning by selling its goods will be recorded. Here I have written sales on credit side of trading account and left some space as it has related adjustment. In profit and loss account, all indirect expenses will be recorded on debit side and income will be recorded on credit side. And in partner's current account, I have recorded opening balance and drawings from trial balance in partner's current account. And in balance sheet also, I have recorded all assets and liabilities and capital balances from trial balance. So let's move on to adjustments. Here in question, first adjustment is given that closing stock is of rupees 21,000, in which stock of stationery of rupees 2,000 is included. So let's see here. Here closing stock is 21,000 and 2,000 is stationery stock. That means 2,000 is closing stock of stationery. So remaining amount, that means 21,000 minus 2,000, that means 19,000 is closing stock of goods. So let's give two effects of both these items. So first effect of closing stock of goods is on asset side in balance sheet. Here under the heading of current asset, closing stock, that is 19,000. And second effect of it would be on credit side of trading account, closing stock 19,000. Similarly, stationery stock would appear on asset side of balance sheet under the heading of current asset, which is rupees 2,000. Actually, if businessman is using stationery in his daily business, then he has a stock of it. So until it is used up, it is an asset. And once it is used up, it becomes an expense. That means firm has it on hand at the end of a reporting period. So that's why we will write it here, closing stock of stationery 2,000, first effect. And second effect of it would be deduction from stationery expense, which I have written on debit side of profit and loss account. So minus 2,000, we will get 5,000 in outer column. Now second adjustment in question is on machinery, depreciation rate is to be increased up to 10%. If you look In trial balance, you will find that DAP on machine is already given in trial balance. And now we are told to increase depreciation rate up to 10% as per adjustment number 2. So first we will find out value of machine before depreciation. We will show it in asset side of balance sheet like this. Here value of machine is given in trial balance in question, which is 71,760. Then we will add depreciation as per trial balance, which is 6,240. By adding this, we will get 78,000. So 78,000 is value of machine which is before depreciation as per trial balance. Then on this 78,000, we will calculate 10% new depreciation, which brings us 7,800. 10% of 78,000. By subtracting 7,800 from 78,000, we will get 70,200 value of machine after provision of new depreciation, which is value of machine. Now second effect of it we will give on debit side of profit and loss account, as it is an expense for the firm. 7,800. Now third adjustment is credit sales of rupees 1,000 is recorded in the purchase return book by mistake. Now first we will record purchase return, which is given in trial balance on credit side as goods return debit, which means it is purchase return. Goods return debit means purchase return, which is 2,000. Similarly, I have recorded rupees 3,000 as sales return from trial balance, which is given on debit side of trial balance, and it is written as goods return credit. Here goods return credit means sales return. Now let's give two effects of third adjustment, which says that rupees 1,000, which is the amount of credit sales, is recorded in the purchase return book by mistake. So here our first duty is to remove rupees 1,000 from the value of purchase return, as it is not the amount of purchase return. So when we deduct rupees 1,000, which is the amount of credit sales, from the amount of purchase return, we will get 1,000 as new amount of purchase return. So by subtracting 1,000 from the value of purchase, we will get 79,000 in outer column. So what we have done here? We have done from 80,000, which is the value of purchase, we have deducted 1,000, which is the new value of purchase return. So we will get 79,000 as the value of purchase. Now second effect of it would be addition to sales. Now by adding 1,000, we will get total sales as 1,21,000. Now by subtracting sales return from sales, we will get 1,18,000 in outer column as the value of sale. Now let's move on to fourth adjustment, which says 1/4 share of advertisement expense is to be carried forwarded to the next year. Here advertisement expense is rupees 36,000, which is given in trial balance, and 1/4 of 36,000 is rupees 9,000. In outer column we will get 27,000. Now 9,000 is called advertisement suspense account. Here, question arises, why should we carry forward some portion of advertisement expense to the next year? See, this capitalized advertisement expenditure is called advertisement suspense account. This is written off over a period of time, that means during the period over which the benefit is supposed to be accruing. Many a time there may be heavy expenditure on advertisement. These expenditure is incurred in the initial stage or during the financial year. But the effects of such heavy expenses are enjoyed for many years to come. So such heavy expenditure is written off over a period depending upon the amount and effects it may produce. Therefore, whole expense of 36,000 will not be shown in current year. Here 9,000, which is advertisement suspense, will be deducted. And second effect of it would be on asset side of balance sheet under the heading of other non-current assets. 9,000. See, advertisement expenses have a nature of fictitious asset. As I told you, these are not charged fully against the profit in 1 year. Therefore, these are to be written off in installments, and remaining is shown as a fictitious asset on the asset side of balance sheet. Now here we have completed giving effects or two effects of adjustments. Now let's move on to hidden adjustment. Here in trial balance, salary is given 13,200, and with that date is given, which is 28 Feb 2017. That means salary is paid up to 28 Feb 2017. That means for 11 months only. And as per financial year, 12 months, that means 1 year gets completed on 31st March 2017. It means salary of March month has not been paid, which is outstanding. So here we will have to calculate amount of outstanding salary, which will be calculated as, here have a look. If for 11 months salary is 13,200, then what will be the amount of salary for 1 month? So by cross multiplication, we will get 1200, which is outstanding salary, which is liability for the firm. So it will have two effects. First, on liability side in balance sheet, as it is a liability for the firm, amount is 1200. For second effect, we will add it to the expense of salary, which has been already recorded, as it has been already paid, as this portion means 1200 is also the expense of current year, though it is yet to be paid. So in outer column we will get 14,400. That means out of 14,400, which is the expense of current year, 13,200 is paid and 1200 is yet to be paid, which is outstanding. Here in question, on credit side of trial balance, loan of Dharma is given, which is a non-current liability for the firm. So we will write it here on liability side under the heading of non-current liability. So on the basis of this, let's give effect of outstanding interest on Dharma's loan. So let's calculate it. Here loan amount is rupees 30,000 and rate of interest is 6%. As you know, according to the provision of Indian Partnership Act 1932, if interest rate is not mentioned, then 6% per annum interest is payable on the loan given by partner. So 6% of 30,000 is 1800, out of which 1200 amount is paid. as it is given in trial balance, and remaining, that means 1800 minus 1200, which is 600, is outstanding interest. That means it is a liability for the firm. It is yet to be paid. So let's give two effects for this. So first effect of it would be on liability side under the heading of current liability, 600. And second effect of it we will give on debit side of profit and loss account. We will add it to interest on Dharma's loan, 600. In outer column we will get 1800. That means out of 1800, 1200 has been already paid and 600 is yet to be paid, that is outstanding. Now before moving to the procedure of closing all the accounts, let's take out the amount of creditors and debtors in outer column in balance sheet. Here it is related to adjustment number 3rd, which says that credit sales of rupees 1000 is recorded in the purchase return book by mistake. Actually, this adjustment has 4 effects. 2 effects we have already given in trading account, and 3rd and 4th effect will be on creditors and debtors. Here, while rectifying the error, purchase return decreased, which will increase creditors, as the firm has not returned goods to creditors and it is still liable to pay rupees 1000 to creditors from whom the firm has purchased goods on credit. So we will add rupees 1000, which was wrongly recorded as purchase return. So in outer column they will get 80,000 as creditors. And 4th effect is it will increase debtors, as while rectifying the error we found that 1000 was credit sales and here credit sales is increasing, and when credit sale increases, debtors will also increase, because debtors are the persons to whom we sell goods on credit. So we will add 1000, which was credit sale, and hence debtor will also increase. In outer column we will get 28,400 as debtors. Now one thing more, I want you to notice that whenever outstanding expense is given in trial balance, then it will have only one effect in final account, and that too on liability side of balance sheet. In this question, outstanding salary is given on credit side of trial balance, which is rupees 700. And you know, credit balance of trial balance indicates that either the particular item is income or it is a liability. And here outstanding salary cannot be called income. It is a liability, which means it is yet to be paid. So here outstanding salary as per trial balance will be written on liability side of balance sheet, which is rupees 700. Now it's time to close the account. So first we will close trading account. So here total of credit side is more, which is rupees 1,37,000. Here difference will appear on debit side, which is 41,400, which is gross profit, which will be transferred to profit and loss account, to P&L account, GP. Now here we will transfer it to profit and loss account by trading account, GP 41,400. Now we will close profit and loss account. In profit and loss account, total of debit side is more than the total of credit side. That means firm's total expenses are more than the firm's total income. Here total is 61,000, total of debit side, which we will write on both the sides, and we will get divisible loss on credit side of profit and loss account. So here we will write by partners current account, as divisible loss will be transferred to partners current account, which is rupees 13,000. Now in question it is given that Dharma and Karma will share profit and profit or loss in their capital ratio. So now we have to find out capital ratio. So let me show you it in working note. Here capital balance of Dharma is 1,40,000 and capital balance of Karma is 1,20,000. So by cancelling common 4 zeros, we will get 14:12. Now cancelling it with common factor 2, we will get 7:6. 2 sevens are 14 and 2 6 are 12. So this is capital ratio, and divisible loss of 13,000 will be distributed according to this ratio. For Dharma, it will be 13,000 multiplied by 7 upon 13. 7 plus 6, 13. So we will get 7,000. And for Karma, 13,000 into 6 upon 13, and it brings us 6,000. So Dharma's loss is 7,000 and Karma's loss is 6,000. So here we will write 7,000 and 6,000, which will be transferred to partner's current account. Now as it is loss, so we will record it on debit side of partner's current account. 31st March 2017 to P&L account 7,000 and 6,000. Divisible loss. Now we will close partner's current account. So let's close Dharma's current account. Here total of debit side is 31,500, and as there is nothing on credit side, so the same total will be called closing current balance by balance CD 31,500. Now we will close Karma's current account. Here first write total. Here difference would appear on debit side, which is rupees 3,000, which is closing current balance, to balance CD. Now this closing balance, that is 31,500 of Dharma, will appear on asset side, and closing current balance of Karma will appear on on liability side. Let's record it in balance sheet. Current account of Karma, which is 3,000. And current account of Dharma on asset side, which is rupees 31,500. And here our balance sheet will get tallied with total amount 3,78,300. So this was question number 14.